Hello, and welcome to the Hypno Travelers on the Magical Psyche Highway podcast. That's right. Your host and tour guide is Scott Prevett, a healer, hypnotist, and a magician. And your bus driver is Jason Gobelli, also a hypnotist, an entrepreneur, and a spiritual guide. Disclaimer, neither Jason, Scott, or any of our guests here today are licensed professional psychologists or psychiatrists. So please don't make any changes to any medication or treatments that you are currently on based on the conversation that you hear here today. Just hop on the bus and enjoy the ride. Trip with us on the Inner Revelation bus. That's right.
Hi, I'm Jason. Welcome back to the Hypno Travelers on the Magical Psyche Highway. And we are excited today, aren't we, Scott?
Heck, got a great guest fly all lined up for you guys.
That's right. We got the wonderful, the great Whitley Mae. Whitley, how are you?
I'm doing great. Super excited to be on here.
Oh, we're excited to have you, and we're looking forward to traveling down your magical psyche highway. So let's get rolling. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Whitley Mae. I'm the owner of Wholly Jubilee. I am a doctor of traditional naturopathy. So that means I find the root cause of any ailments, disease, or symptoms and treat that instead of throwing a bunch of medicine or, just a Band-Aid, putting a Band-Aid on it. We solve the problem that is going on that your body is screaming to fix. And so I do that by treating the whole body, mind, body, spirit. So I have a degree in psychology, I have a degree in biblical studies, and then I do somatic healing, and I like to use food as medicine over pills or supplements.
Well, so you have degrees all over the place. You're pretty young. You must be staying in school the whole time, huh?
I love to learn. One of my favorite quotes or concepts is that you really can't steal knowledge from someone. So I could lose my money, I could lose my family, I could lose anything, but I can't lose what I know. So I love to learn and I love to teach people.
So what do you do and how do you find what the real issue is? What's your method?
I have a bunch of different modalities that I can use, like iridology, which is the study of the eyes, reflexology, which is the study of the feet. You can look at all these things that the body can give you to show you what's going on. But my favorite thing is frequency medicine. So this is the concept that everything vibrates at its own unique frequency. And so the program I use has isolated over 150,000 frequencies that our body emits, and then can tell you if you're in balance or out of balance. So it takes a little bit of the human error out of finding the root cause or spending hours and hours studying somebody's body. And I can generally find the root cause within about an hour and a half of working with my clients.
Well, so do you do this with a machine or
Mhm.
how do you, so you have an actual machine that determines frequency?
Yes.
Nice. So what's that called and what's that like?
So it's called the AO body scan, and you can do it virtually. So I have virtual options, but I like to use a bone conducting headset, and then the machine, the program, works off of your brain because your brain knows everything, and talks back and forth to it to find out what's going on. It's non-invasive. I don't puncture the skin. I do not diagnose either, but we can get a really great idea, put some puzzle pieces together based off of the scan.
So let me ask you, if you're doing it online,
Mhm.
isn't it subject to static and stuff like that or, reception?
Yeah, so we kind of get into the quantum theory, quantum physics aspect where um, the the machine learns who you are. My favorite way to describe this is if you are driving in your car and you're turning the station to 88.5, you love that station, you listen to it, you're driving the car, you want to listen to 88.5. So you just turn the dial and you pick up 88.5, you've turned to that exact channel. And so we are like the exact channel. So the machine learns your exact frequencies. You're uniquely made up of different frequencies that are just unique to you. And so the machine can isolate those and find you.
So you treat humans like a machine.
We are kind of a machine, aren't we? We have so many different circuits, electrical, motherboard type components to our body. It's just
Nice.
more, we can't recreate it. So it's a little more miraculous than that. But
So then it's a lot more detailed than just going from an acidic state to an alkaline state when it comes to vibrations.
yes, yes. Yep. So our body's always looking for homeostasis, right? Whether we have the right pH or the right emotional state, we're always trying to find the balance. And so that's where we get our symptoms. When your body's trying to find the balance, it's just giving you those little messages. And it might be where maybe you wake up with a sore shoulder, but you ignore that sore shoulder and then you have spinal problems because that's the big message that you can't ignore.
Nice, nice. So what I'm seeing here is that you're dealing with the physical body, looking at physical clues. You're also a psychologist, so you're looking at mental cues. What about the subconscious? What are we doing on the subconscious level? How are we monitoring that?
So like the emotional state or the way the brain works, subconsciously, yes. So I love using techniques like emotional freedom techniques, which is tapping the subliminal messages that you can kind of, I call them body hacks. I don't know if you've ever called them a body hack, but you can push a little button, you can push a little part of your ear, and that activates the vagus nerve, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts you in a huge state of, like a big state of calm, right? Like you wouldn't be that calm unless you push the little button behind your ear. Same for tapping. I love tapping. I don't know if you're familiar with that,
Yes,
but
yes, we are.
um, I love that. My clients have found immense help in just getting over those core beliefs that maybe they didn't know they had. The cool thing with my machine is that uh, it scans the voice box. So we have over 7,000 frequencies of emotions that we store in our voice box, and it's just as unique as your fingerprint. But you can also tell if somebody is about to cry or if they're nervous based on how they talk. And so my machine scans the voice box, tells you what emotions you're overcompensating for and which ones you're suppressing, and then tells you where you store those emotions in your body. So from that, I can come up with specific tapping sequences to work with my clients to help them with those emotions that they might not realize they are experiencing, or maybe have just been so ingrained in their brain, they need help to get off that track.
So are these little buttons and little triggers that you're pressing, are they the same on everybody or they vary with different people?
They vary with different people. I do auricular therapy as well. So different points on the ears can stimulate different areas of your body. We have the energetic points, so energy can get blocked. That helps loosen the energy up as well. It's just amazing. We're just a superhighway, a big motherboard trying to communicate. Our body is always trying to communicate to us, whether subliminally or physically, emotionally. And so knowing, acknowledging, I call it naming to taming it. So we have to name it to tame it sometimes. Other times you can just do some body hacks.
Nice. Nice. Well, I guess a little bit of that's hereditary because, the same thing happens when I tell my kids to pull my finger is the same thing that happened when my dad told me to pull his.
Those jokesters were onto something. They didn't even know it.
So listen, Whitley, when did you have this like aha moment? Like, wow, I'm really going to be able to help people. When did you find out there's something different about you?
I had a client. So I had this imposter syndrome for so long where I'm like, I like what I do. I'm passionate about it, but is it really, am I really going to help? And I had a client, he was an older man, and he looked at me one day and he goes, "You, like, I feel love from you. I feel like you actually love me and want me to get better. I've never had that before." And you could see just improvement and improvement. And with the frequency medicine, or like when you're talking about frequencies, there's emotions, and love is the most powerful emotion. You can actually feel that frequency of love from 6 feet away, and they've measured that. And so for him to tell me, I feel love, and he was healing, and he was seeing improvements, and he was wanting to do the work, and he was wanting to come back and see me, I felt this is where I'm supposed to be. I am making a difference here.
Well, Whitley, I would challenge those measurements and I would challenge the tool that they use those measurements because I'm under the impression that you can feel love from miles away, especially online.
Oh, I think so. I think it's people like the tactile, they feel they want to be they're hugged or something and they feel love. But when you can raise somebody's frequencies up just by feeling love for them, it's powerful. It is the most powerful tool out there, I think, is love.
I tend to agree. It fits with everything that we do. So let me ask you another question here. All the stuff you got going on, that from all these different directions, who are your mentors? Who shaped you to be who you are?
Yeah, I've actually been talking a lot about my mentors lately, because they have made such a big difference, and it makes a huge difference in somebody who believes in you. And so I actually was talking about a woman who passed away, but she paid for 3 of my mission trips, like some to go overseas and help with wheelchair ministries. And she just passed away, but she made such a big difference because if I didn't see people in other countries and see how good I had it and to not take things for granted, I don't know if I'd be who I am today. Um, but then also I have a mentor. I'm actually in his house right now. He provided a place for me to work out of, but his name is Joel Wingerter, and he's also a holistic health professional. But he looked at me one day as I was just talking, and he said, "You are it. You are the real deal." And like I said, this imposter syndrome, it's been a big part um, of my like how I behave and how I believe in myself. And so for him to say that, I thought, oh, okay, I think I can get rid of that imposter syndrome now because he's been all over the world. He's been 45, 50 years of holistic health work. And so just for somebody so amazing who has seen a lot, to tell me that I'm something was great. And then I would say my dad. My dad has been awesome and just encouraging me on this journey as well and being very supportive.
Nice. So it's interesting. So you say you do
Right.
a lot of mission work and things like this.
Yeah.
So how does that fit in with the whole holistic thing? Because a lot of times it's kind of like almost at opposites.
So my dream is that I can take all this knowledge and wisdom and help people in different countries as well who do not have access to or permission to treat themselves naturally and to empower them to say, hey, you don't need to get all this Western medicine to be healthy. You could take your own plants and your own herbs and your own knowledge and be healthy and heal. So I feel like they're not at odds. I think it's all just benefiting humans. Right.
Nice. So do you have a go-to herb or plant that you say, hey, this is the one you gotta try or use?
Oh, I have been really big. So I forage for and I make my own medicine. And so there's 2 that I've just fallen in love with because they are plentiful here where I live in Illinois. And one is mullein. Mullein is this really tall plant that has huge leaves and just abundance, and it works with your lungs. We have allergies. We have corn here because I'm in Illinois and the Midwest. So we have pollen and all kinds of, animals and everything. And so people are always nasally. So I love mullein. And then sweet Annie, which is a cousin to wormwood. It's called sweet wormwood. It is an active, I don't know what I can say on here, so you might have to block me out, but um, it's the natural form of ivermectin. So if you have sweet Annie, you get the natural form of ivermectin. So it helps with parasites, it cleanses your lungs, it cleanses your digestive system, and it smells really, really good. So, and it tastes really good. So,
Nice, nice. So it almost sounds kind of witchy the way you're picking all these things up.
yeah, my kids call me a Christian witch. But it's science, it's all scientific. Everything we get from science, we've seen in nature first. So
Nice, nice. Scott, you got a question? I saw you getting ready.
So my question is there something, what would be the most common thing that is brought to you that surprised you that medicine has? I don't know if I worded that correctly.
yeah, say that one more time. So what's been the most surprising thing that I've come across?
Yeah, that's doesn't have a cure for medicine, such as like not whooping cough, but something along those lines. Is there anything like that you've come across that you're like, hey, this is, the pattern that I see for this?
I see a lot of people who, men and women, who have libido issues, and they're taking medicine for it, but they're not finding actual cures, benefits from those medicines. So, um, I usually help people like this kind. I call it the domino effect. So I treat one thing, and then they're like, "Hey, my libido a little," and I'm like, "I know." Uh, that we
So,
know.
so what's the secret?
The secret is to have really good foundations, because if you're not horny, you're not healthy. So finding what will make you healthy will end up making you horny. So um so usually we have these, like, I wrote an ebook called Holistic Harmony, which is just about the 8 pillars of natural health, which are ingrained in you in naturopathy school. And it's just having really good foundations, um, because then your body wants to work for you. So it's just drinking water, getting sunlight, getting sleep, managing your stress, having social experiences, staying away from toxic chemicals if you can.
So are you kind of saying that back in the day when they used to have like 7 and 8 kids, they were probably healthier than we are today?
Yeah, it makes sense. No
Ooh,
testosterone blockers, no progesterone.
pesticides,
Oh, yeah,
pesticides, and none of that.
yeah.
So let's take it a step further here. So what is the thing that you're most proud of, your biggest accomplishment?
I'm a single mom, and I started this journey as a single mom. Well, I mean, I've been all natural for a long time, but my daughter has was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and so we kind of were in this under this big heavy cloud of just like sickness and tired. And so my biggest accomplishment is that I've done this as a single mom, and also that I get to share this with people I love. Um, so I'm really happy with, and I'm proud of myself for doing that.
Nice, nice. So how are the kids on the journey? How old are they and how are they enjoying your journey?
Yeah, I have a 16, 11, and 9-year-old, and they really, really miss McDonald's chicken nuggets. So, but
Good.
I've let them choose school lunches or mom lunches. And recently they're like, yeah, school lunch is not good. So like as far as nutrition, I think they understand the benefits and they feel better when we're working holistically than um, the standard American way. So
You've got test subjects.
yeah, they don't like being tested. Yeah, I have clients who are like, I will be your guinea pig. And I'm like, guys, they they would pay me to be their guinea pig, to be my guinea pig. And they're like, we don't have that desire that much.
So let me ask you a question, because you did mention that you do all the, well, like you said, witch stuff almost, because you're dealing with all the medicines and plants and stuff like that. So so where does prayer come into all of this? Because you said you were Christian as well. So where does prayer come in?
Yeah, I believe in the power of prayer. I have a very active prayer life. I feel like I'm always praying. Um, the chiropractor, the doctor that I studied under, is because I had to do a 400-hour internship. And so he actually had his dissertation on the power of prayer and how when you start treatment with prayer, it's more effective for your clients. So not all of my clients are Christians. I don't push that on them, but I do pray for them, and I do. Yeah, prayer is so powerful. It can heal, it can change your outlook. You have gratitude. There's so many research studies on gratitude. And then what are we doing? We're saying thank you to God for providing. So, um, very beneficial.
Powerful. Scott?
Sure. So that's part of Jason's thing is faith, forgiveness, and love, and his FFL modality. I'll run on the same track with that, and adding just more to the prayer. Have you found more? Have found that the more, which faith is it? A Christian faith that you would be, or do you treat another part of the nationality?
As far as do I just only work with Christians? Is that what you're saying? Or
No, do you pray for every single one of your patients in the same way? Let me ask you like that.
Oh, I do pray with like Jesus's name and God. So
Okay,
Nice.
I'm just curious.
yeah.
Nice. So let me ask you a question here now. We'll flip it around. You got all these things that are going on and things that are happening. You got your ebook. Is that a book that you give to people? Is that one we can get on Amazon? How do we get that?
Yeah, so you can go to my website and it's a free download. Right now, it's a free download. I can't promise it will always stay, but I love that for foundational help. And I would say start there. If you're just starting on your healing journey, start with that ebook. I'm going to start implementing online classes so we can kind of like a book study with it. And then I also am about to put out a hormone online course for my female clients. I would like to have one for my male clients eventually too, because you guys get left out big time in the holistic health field.
So what's your website so our viewers can find you?
It's www.whollyjubilee.com, WHOLLYJUBILEE.com.
Holy Jubilee, you said? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of celebrating when you come see me. We celebrate a lot.
Nice. Yes. Wonderful. It's always good to celebrate and that. So let me ask you now, so what have you had any of these clients that you've worked with? It's like, wow, what's the one that you've been most amazed by? Where you saw something happen and you weren't even expecting it, and it's just like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I have these 30-day programs where I say, let's work together for 30 days, see what happens, and then we can keep working together. Um, Usually my clients, they have small wins. It takes a little while for them to get on board and really go at it. But I had a client who came in with a large mass on her side and cyst all over her body. She had a 1.9 centimeter cyst on her kidney, and we worked with each other for just 30 days, and the mass was gone, and the kidney cyst was down to 0.3 centimeters. So
Nice.
just 30 days. That one was really crazy because it was just measurable. We had doctors measure those before she came in and right after.
Nice, pretty powerful. So I noticed also on that you have a family plan. So does that work where if you heal one person in the family, it starts to heal the others, or do you have to bring them all in? How does that work?
Well, when you understand frequencies, you understand that if I'm next to you and I'm feeling sad or anxious all the time, you're going to feel that too, and it's going to start affecting your body. If I'm angry all the time, you're going to be affected by my anger. And so I love treating families together. We meet together in a room, and I have this machine called the Pearl machine, and I have that running, and we work on what I notice, because I do a scan for all of the family, and I just say, okay, this is everyone in this family has immune system issues. Everyone in this family is feeling anxious. I see all of these commonalities, and then I work to support those imbalances, if you will, in our family time together.
So just for the example, so you use the men are the ones who aren't as holistic, but let's flip it for a second. And let's say you're interviewing a family, and let's say the woman's off, and
Mhm.
you work on the man, and the man gets where he's doing better, but won't that frequency that she's admitting tear him back down?
It could, but he could also build her up with his powerful frequencies that he's healing from. So, like I said, with the love can actually raise somebody else's frequencies. And so if one person's doing better, the other people will probably also um, find that benefit as well. Maybe not as powerful, but there will still be benefits to.
So it'll help, but it's better to get them all in the room.
I love doing that. Yes. I'd prefer that because then you just see it all encompassed together, and then we can work on something else next time instead of, oh, these three people are still anxious. These three people are still have hand, foot, mouth, or have, um, I'm trying to think of toxin buildup. These three kids have toxin buildup still, so we should probably work on that, and it can make it more stagnant.
So you do this online.
Yeah, I can do this online.
Is
I do love to be in person, but I can do everything I offer online.
so is it better to have everyone in the same box or to have everyone in different boxes?
As far as in a
On
room
you,
together,
yeah, when you get them together in the group online.
I like them all in one box. I love everybody together. More togetherness is the best, but the way that this stuff works is amazing, and you could be in Florida and another person could be in California, and you would still have benefits. I have clients in Arizona, I have clients in Florida. Everybody gets the benefit of the frequency medicine. So
So with your frequency messages, do you do a group session?
I can.
And do you do them? You like to do group sessions?
I haven't done a lot of virtual group sessions. I do find my clients like the individual attention from me, just because we can dive deeper into their individual root causes. So I have mostly done individual.
Nice. Scott, any other questions?
Sure. So let's fast forward 10 years from now and you're looking back at stuff that you've accomplished. What do you expect to see?
I expect to see a really long list of people who attribute my support to their healing. I just want to just be part of their journeys. I also see, I really love the underserved population. I used to work with clients who were at risk of losing their children to DCFS, and I loved working with them because they got services that they couldn't on their own when I could come in and help them. And so I love to see another list of underserved people who benefited from me just from maybe a foundation I have, providing free services to them. And then, yeah, that's my dream, is to just keep getting this list of people who are healthy and living life to the fullest and celebrating their health in all walks of life.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
So Whitley, are any of your babies following in your footsteps?
Well, my youngest is named Quinn, and we call her Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. So, and she loves to forage, and she will say, what if you did, like, where's the tincture, Mom? And so she will take the tinctures every day. She'll put the frequency wands on her without any complaints. So maybe we have a Dr. Quinn medicine woman in my family, in the bloodline.
So you feel like she's going to be able to take it to the next level?
I hope so. I hope she's way better than me.
That's right.
That's
Okay, wonderful. Hey, do you have anything else you want to ask, Scott?
I'm good.
Whitley, do you have anything else you want to add?
I think that I'd love for anybody hearing this today that they know healing is possible, that their symptoms are not something to ignore, that they're not crazy, that there is somebody out there that will help them and can help them, and nothing is impossible with God.
That's right.
We can do all things. And so there's healing out there. There's a way to live a full, abundant life, no matter no matter where you are in your healing journey. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Whitley, I'm not through with you yet because I have another question.
okay.
This is the big question,
Okay.
the final question. What are your words of wisdom for our viewers?
I heard you ask that to your other guest, and so I'm sitting here thinking, what do I say all the time that is powerful, that means something to me? And I don't take life very seriously. I think there's so many people out there that can say something better than I can. But one thing I say all the time is it's awkward until it's not. And so just push through, listen to your body for sure. But if you feel like you're doing something right, but it doesn't feel, amazing yet, just push through, because it's always awkward. Healing is always awkward until it's not. So those are my words of wisdom.
Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, well, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. It's been a pleasure traveling down your magical psyche highway. We've certainly enjoyed it. We've had a great time. And for our viewers out there, we're glad you're here too. We hope you've enjoyed us. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you like us. Come back next week. We'll have another show. We're glad that you're here. If you like us, give us the thumbs up. If you think we're assholes, give us a thumbs down. We don't care. We're just glad you're here, and we hope to see you next week. Thanks for coming.
Wow, what a trip. Thanks for taking that journey with us today. Please like us, share us, and enlighten us with your views of the topics we drove into today. We appreciate you and love reading your comments. Thanks again, and we hope to see you back on the bus next week. That's right.